Hello and welcome. My name is Melissa. I am the owner and artist here at the Drawer RVA located in Richmond, Virginia. I'm also a Dixie Belle brand ambassador. So today's plan is to transform a really ugly 1970s brown cabinet into this beautiful Wonderland delight. It's a little Cinderella, a little Mad Hatter, and a lot of fun. So grab your supplies and get ready to paint. So this cutie little cabinet was actually really low to the ground. Too low for me. I purchased 4 feet off of Amazon for around $20. I screwed them on to the bottom of the piece and gave it some height. I flipped that little table right side up and cleaned it with Pristine Clean. If you don't have Pristine Clean, you can also use White Lightning. Then rinse it really well and give it a slight sand scuff before you prime it. I primed this piece with Boss in Clear. Okay, so anything this curvy is definitely going to have gold on it for me. I decided to start with a blue base, coming in with Peacock around the feet, moving up into Dixie Belle blue, and then adding some sort of a neutral. I think I used burlap, but if you don't have burlap, you can use sandbar or French linen. The trick to an easy ombre blend is to keep a separate brush for each color. Keeping that separate brush for each color allows you not to muddy up your paint when you're putting it on. I like to lay the initial colors down in the color pattern that they're going to live with. It's kind of the thing I like to say, and lay them down where they're going to live. And then on the second coat, you're going to blend them together. For this job, I use my best dang brush, and you're going to see me do that in just a minute. Another handy dandy tip of the day, make sure to keep a spray misting bottle filled with water handy. You're going to use this to damp your brush a little bit more around those details. Pounce your brush really good into those details and make sure every square inch is covered in paint. All right, here is where you're going to start to blend your colors together. After your initial coat of paint has dried, you're going to come in and lay down your second coat of paint, making sure to cover all parts of wood that are showing. Then, with your best dang brush, you're going to keep that damp and you're going to pounce those colors together. Use a light hand, hold it further down on the bristles, and you're going to see this work very well together. This brush is called your best dang brush for a really good reason. It's totally my favorite and it makes blending very, very easy. Keep it damp, use your spray misting bottle filled with water. Make sure to have a rag on hand so you can wipe off any excess amounts of paint that stick in the bristles. Because it's partially synthetic and partially natural fiber, it holds a lot of paint. So make sure to wipe it often to not muddy up your colors. When I paint the front of a piece, I keep the drawers in. This helps me blend my paint and get that ombre blend just perfect. So leaving the drawers in helps you get the paint to live where it's gonna live and those colors to mesh perfectly. All right, let's talk detail. I want this piece to have all of the things. It needs to be super over the top to kind of achieve the look that I'm going for. I use my Harlequin Stencil. It's mylar and quite thick. I taped it on and then grabbed my Cactus in Chameleon Wax. This is an oil-based wax. Now here's the deal. You can totally seal your piece before you do this, or you can seal your piece after you do this. Since this wax is oil-based, you can do it last and leave it be. But once it's dry, you can easily seal over top of it as well. I continued this pattern on both sides of the piece. And on the top, when I finished painting it, I did it on the corners as well. It's a great way to add a little bit of glimmer, a little bit of shine. You don't see a ton of color on there, but when it hits the light, it looks so super good. So the front of this piece had these little squares, and I wanted to accent them some way. And I'm not gonna lie, I did battle and fight with this a little bit. I painted them with cotton first. Once they were white, I still didn't like them. So I added Caviar over top to kind of make the squares look a little bit more exact. Still didn't do it for me, so I ended up adding a little bit of patterned silkscreen stencil over top of the black with a tiny bit of Gold Digger Moonshine Metallics. This gave it the perfect touch for those small little squares on the front. All right, let's talk about Gemstone Mousse. This is a water-based product. It has 0 VOCs and has absolutely no smell. So this is great to use inside around kids, dogs, pets, whatever. It's totally safe. No smell at all. What I need you to know is that you need to mix this stuff up super duper good. If you don't mix up your gemstone mousse, what's going to happen is all the pigment is going to settle to the bottom and you're not going to get the desired effect that you need. I also like to add a couple drops of gloss in clear coat to my gemstone mousse. What this does is strengthen the product and allows it to dry super fast. After I finished accenting all of the curved and little trim pieces with my gemstone mousse, I came in and worked on the top. I used the same color pattern that I used on the sides, blending the Peacock, the Dixie Belle blue, and the Burlap together, using that best dang brush to kind of give it that perfect cloudy effect. All right, you didn't think we were done yet, did you? There has to be a little bit more detail on there somewhere. Let's open the vintage floral and talk about what's inside. Each transfer tube has pages of images along with the burnishing tool, and then, of course, your instruction panel. Transfers are very easy to use. All you need to do is cut out the desired image that you want to use on your piece. After you've cut that image out, you're going to peel back the protective backing paper. It's white, you'll see it here in the video, and then place the image onto your piece. You're then going to take your small wooden burnishing tool and gently scrape down. This is going to release that image off that plastic and onto your piece. Take your time, make sure you get around all of the edges. When you peel back the plastic, you're actually going to see that image change color a little bit. It's being released from the sheet, so you're going to see it kind of go to a cloudy, opaque color. That's when you know your image is stuck onto your furniture. This is not hard. Just take your time, work around those edges, and get that image down. Bells and Whistles transfers are actually really easy to use and give your piece a great pop of detail. It provides like a sharp, defined image onto your piece that just accents the hand painting wonderfully. I really like them. So if you get a chance, give them a try. I'm sure you will love them. You can layer them, distress them. You're going to want to seal them with wax or a clear coat. I actually sealed this entire piece with clear coat before I came in with my best dang wax. We'll get to that point, but I just want you to know your transfers do need to be sealed. After applying my transfer, I sealed the entire table with my clear coat. I like to use satin for a tiny bit of shine. Now here's a handy dandy tip. The blue sponge that I'm using to apply my satin clear coat is a little bit damp. When you wet it, it just makes the application of the clear coat go on that little bit easier. Give it a try. We're almost done, I promise. There's just a few more details that need to happen before this piece is perfect. Coming in with my French tip, I decided to use some Best Dang brush and applied it especially around all of those gold details, anywhere where there's any little bends, curves, or detail on the piece. Since Dixie Belle's wax is water-based, I find it really easy to kind of spray a rag and wipe back any of the excess. Since I've already sealed my piece, I'm pretty much done. I'm not going to seal over top of this wax, but it is going to provide this piece with a great amount of depth and detail. Remember those squares on the front that were giving me an issue? I finally decided what I wanted to do to them, and I used my silkscreen stencil. Now, when you use a silkscreen stencil, it's really easy to stick it on and use something to push through that silkscreen. You can use a foam applicator pad, you can use the enclosed tool, or you could even use your little thingamajig tool. So, I actually used the wax before my silkscreen stencil. You shouldn't do this because you can kind of see that I struggled a little bit to get it to adhere very well. Because the wax is kind of like a resist, don't do that. Do your silkscreen stencil first, then do your wax over top. You'll be much better off. So after I finished putting on those little dots with my gold digger, I put the hardware back in and we were done. So that's it for this cute little whimsical beauty. What do you think? I really love the way that it turned out. The little harlequin pattern on the sides, the cute little flowers in the front. It does all of the things and I really loved it. Thanks for watching.